Hello, good afternoon. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. I'm chuckling because my producer just said, live! It's my husband, he's in the other room. Okay, so, and you can hear Jack patting around in the background. So thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday. Today's topic is, as the title suggests, keto and people's opinions. Who gets a vote on what we eat? And like I wrote in the parentheses, I bet you know what my answer is. Nobody gets a vote on what we eat. Nobody gets a vote on what I eat anyway. I don't know about you. Quick primer on what the ketogenic protocol is as I learned it and have practiced it now 7.5 years, more than. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net. Net carbs just means eating more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. So there it is. That's it. Nothing fancier than that. And it's not really very radical if you think about it. Reduce your carbohydrate intake. Don't eat if you're not hungry, and stop when you're satisfied. Not stop when you're stuffed. We don't have to, we don't have to gorge. So for something that is not very radical and has been around a long time, it's not even a kind of new notion. Many people say, oh, Dr. Atkins invented it. No. Dr. Westman didn't invent it. No. Page 4 is the Atkins food list from, Dr. Westman, with the input of Jackie Eberstein, developed that for the page 4. But William Banting in 1863 in England, on his treatise on corpulence, was essentially said the same thing. But for something that is not outrageous or radical, people certainly do have weird opinions about it. Now, that's fine to have opinions about things. But as something as fundamental and personal as what we put in our mouths, where do other people think they get off on voicing an opinion on it? Often in public, like in front of other people. Really? This is your business? How? So say you're at a gathering, when people can safely have gatherings, or used to have gatherings. And someone chimes up, maybe you're at a cookout, and you have your plate, and you've got a cheeseburger with no bun, and maybe a bratwurst with no bun, and maybe some sauerkraut, and you're drinking a glass of water. What? That's all you're eating? Is that all you're going to eat over there? What? You're not going to have any fries? No, I'm not. Thank you for paying attention to what I'm eating on my plate. Please pay attention to what you're eating on your plate. But that's not enough. How can you have a hamburger without a bun? Like this, and then you eat the hamburger without the bun. It can happen at dinner parties. It can happen within your own family. We wouldn't expect or accept people giving us unsolicited advice or opinions on other aspects of our life. We have naturalized our front and back gardens, and I really like it. Almost every other home in our suburban neighborhood is, lawns with turf, with some azaleas, some boxwoods, a crepe myrtle, and a couple of trees. That's fine for them. Of course, throughout the week, there's the fertilizer and the mosquito sprayer, and then the aerators, and then the weed be gone, and then the lawnmowers and the leaf blowers and the edges. No, not ours is totally natural. What other people think about my garden, I do not know. I can guess. Some of them like it, some of them don't. But nobody voices an opinion on it, other than maybe they're passing by and I'm up there, tidying things up. They say, "Hey, I love all your flowering things." Great, thank you. If they say nothing, that might mean they don't like it. The polite thing to do is to keep your mouth shut, right? On how we dress our children, we don't allow other people to say, "Are you going to let your kid go out dressed like that?" Wait a minute, did I ask your opinion? Yes, this is how I dress my child. What books you have on your bookshelf. But people feel entitled for some reason to stick their noses into our food. Sorry for that imagery. But the thing is, bad on us if we allow it to happen. We can't stop people if people are going to be rude enough to talk about what we eat or don't eat. But we can certainly control how we respond or don't respond to it. How I would suggest not responding, this is me, is I'm not going to be influenced. Someone else doesn't like what I am or am not eating. I don't care. I just don't care. I think to myself, okay, yeah, you thinking, and I'm eyeing someone else's state of health. And I'm thinking, okay, I should be doing what you're doing. How many medications did you just tell me you take? No, I'm good with what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, the ketogenic protocol, keeping carbs 20 grams for your day total, not net. If it's not paid for, don't eat. Don't if you're not hungry, stop when you're satisfied. I have actually heard that people that I've known for a long time that, were perfectly fine when I was morbidly obese. They never had a problem with me eating a second helping of something or monopolizing the pretzel bowl at a gathering. Never had a problem with that when I was morbidly obese and quite unhappy. But now it's, "Oh, please tell me you're not doing Casey's crazy diet." That hasn't happened in a long time. But first of all, it's not crazy. Second of all, it's not my diet. And third of all, and fourth and fifth and through 10th of all, what business is it of anybody's? The way I fuel myself and how it impacts my health is my business and the business of those people who may be left to care for me if I don't take care of myself. People say, you know what? I'm fine. I'm going to take my insulin, but I'm not passing up dessert. That's fine for them, except that that's kind of a selfish way to be because you're just offloading your health care to whoever else is going to be around. If you know something is not good for you, why do we do it? But we do. But that's not, I don't get a vote on what anyone else eats. I don't get a vote on what my children eat, my grown children, or how they feed their children. Fortunately, everyone is happy and healthy and gorgeous and brilliant. Of course they are. How could they be anything else? We have to toughen ourselves up. I've heard it said by some people, but I'm a people pleaser. And if somebody really made this thing for me, I want to please them. Well, that's fine. That's your choice. But we are people too. We need to please ourselves. And if someone else's happiness is dependent on us eating a food, there's a problem with that. If I prepare, marshmallow pie a la mode with a peanut butter syrup topping, and I prepare it for someone, and I'm upset if they don't eat it because my identity is tied up with this marshmallow pie a la mode with peanut butter syrup. I don't think that's a thing, by the way. Then that's my problem. And also, we have to think that if someone wants to shine a light, take the focus and put it on what we are or are not eating, or how much we are or are not eating of something, it's quite possible that they're simply trying to divert attention away from what they are eating, what's on their plate. You know, they've already plowed through the blooming onion and on their second basket of bread. But they don't want that to be a focus because they kind of know that's not good for them. Does anybody really think that a basket of bread is healthy? Or French fries? Does anyone think that? Even when we were eating it, following the standard American diet, did we ever think that French fries were healthy? No, there's no nutrition in them. So how do we approach it? Well, there are a couple of ways. We can be rather firm and, get your eyes off my plate. That's probably not going to go over very well and probably won't be effective. We can thank someone for their concern. Oh, I understand it looks kind of weird, but I tell you what, I'm loving it. You can kind of acknowledge that what you're doing may be different than what they think is right, but quickly follow up with, but I feel so much better. And I just got taken off yet another medication. Or we can simply change the subject. We can deflect. Many ways to handle it. The bottom line is no one gets a vote on what we eat. No one. Not our mother or father-in-law or mother-in-law, not our kids, whether they're children, teenagers, oldsters. My daughter has a birthday on Monday. At the rate she's going, she and I are going to be the same age real soon. Whew. Anyway, my neighbors, my friends, my former friends, my current friends, even my old man doesn't get a vote. Fortunately, we tend to feel the same way about it. But if he didn't, I would have to take responsibility for what I am doing and not let someone else. I'm not giving away my power on this topic to someone else, not to my doctor, who is now, was skeptical, but is cool now, not to people in the checkout line who see that I've, got a full ribeye in my basket and 3 types of cheese and 2 quarts of heavy whipping cream. They might give me the stink eye, looking at my cart. Then I look at their cart and it's got Rice Krispie treats. And, well, I don't even have to tell you what it's got. It's got what I used to have in my cart. Nobody gets a vote on what we eat. It's that simple. It's fundamental. Nor should they. And how rude of people to speak out like that. Have any of you had anyone openly question what you're doing in front of other people and not in even if they think they're coming across as concerned for your health? It's clear that they're just, that's not necessarily their motivator. Has anyone had that? I'm going to turn my attention to the comments here, but I want to reiterate my position. For me, no one gets a vote on what I eat or don't eat, or when I eat, or how much I eat or don't eat. No one does. It's, like to say, it's none your business. And it's okay. There are certainly more interesting topics in the world. I have had to share the feedback with someone away from the situation. It's best kind of to have these conversations away from the moment, so you don't kind of, or for me, so I don't stick my foot in my mouth. Please don't mention, like, to wait staff that to take my menu away because I don't eat food. Oh, I didn't mean to offend you. You didn't offend me, but I clearly eat food. But I'm sorry, again, not offended. It's just not a very interesting topic of conversation, and the server could care less as long as I leave a good tip, which I always do. We have to pick our way to respond or not respond. But we have got to own the fact that no one gets a vote, that we cannot torpedo our own health and happiness for someone else's feelings. No, not going to happen. There's too much to do in life to be living it for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? We are caring and affectionate and want to make the people we love happy and comfortable and all that. But you know what I'm saying? I hope. Let me turn my attention to you fine people who have shown up. Hey, Bird, I'm just going to jump in the middle. Bird Lover, hey, Casey, just got here. Glad I did not miss you. I'm glad to. Oh, bring that up. I do hear from people, I can only ever get this on the replay. When do you go? I try to go live on YouTube every Saturday at noon Eastern. But if you want to get notifications, there are a few steps. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. It's a little bell icon. But also, on whatever device you get notifications, you have to allow notifications from YouTube because you have to opt into those notifications. So that's how. Hey, Helen. Someone at the grocery store once looked at my cart with all the meat and a few fresh veggies and said that she wanted to go to my house for dinner. LOL. There you go. Kara Z writes, I'm fortunate. I have good people around me. I don't make an issue of what I eat, and more often than not, others don't even notice. That's as it should be, correct? Again, I think if someone else is paying attention to what we are or are not doing, it's because they're feeling some type of way about what they are or are not doing. They'd rather deflect. Bird Lover writes, foot and mouth. That's okay. It's keto. Yvonne Gilman writes, I've become a keto bore. LOL. Just ask me how I lost 48 pounds and I will tell you. Have you found this, Yvonne? So, because I had that, when before I do this in my former career, and everyone knew me as morbidly obese. I'd been that way for 30 years. So as I would get into the office, and my job, I was in real estate. I wasn't in the office every day. I was out and about, and I'd go in. But so people would not say, oh my gosh, you've lost weight. Oh my gosh, how did you do it? I tell you, because I laid off the carbs. That's how I did it. I laid off the carbs. Oh, you can kind of tell, oh, well, no, thank you. I couldn't do that. Or I'm not going to do that. Or that's crazy. Or aren't you worried about your cholesterol? That's usually the first question. Aren't you worried about your cholesterol? Nope. But when people hear how you do it, it's not that they really want the same results. They just don't want to follow that path to get there. And that's fine. There are many different ways to lose weight and be healthy. This just happens to be the one that works for me and worked when I spent 30 years so down on myself. Oh, okay. There's some patrons here. Hey, patrons, I want to give a quick shout out to the patrons, but first, Shameless Commerce Division, with apologies to the Car Talk guys. Some of these things you can see in links below the video at my Teespring shop. Mug, lay off the carbs, lay off the excuses, and a little image of me in the back going like this, saying, if I can do this, you can do this. Same water bottle, steel water bottle, big too, with some little things on it. Those you can get at T. Some things on my blog you can get. Spiral bound record, 12-month record book with some things that I came up with and some graphics and stuff. Spiral bound is really the better way to have it. If you want to get it at Amazon, you can. This is called Perfect Bound. It's a couple of dollars cheaper. And if you have Prime shipping, you'll get it faster. It's the same book, but the spiral one really lays flat and is better. Magnet, are you here out of hunger or out of habit? It's a picture of a fridge. And if hunger's not the problem, food is not the answer. A pop socket, something I never even knew existed. And now I'm so happy with it. Pop sockets go on the back of your devices, and it makes a little handhold. And this one says food is not the boss of me. What else? This is for patrons. My latest card that I send out. My girth does not define my worth. Wish I'd known that before. And other things. There's lots of stuff. And patrons, so I have a private support group on patreon.com. Depending on your pledge level, you will get the entry level is 20 pre-recorded video snippets from me. I make them every weekday morning, and the topics are suggested by patrons. Going up from there, several patron-only live streams on Crowdcast a month, several patron-only video group sessions on Zoom a month, and monthly one-on-ones with me, 50-minute one-on-ones. Gray's Custom Trim. Being a bore is very freeing. So much more time to do other things instead of shopping, eating, and prepping food. Gray, if you want to share your story, I never want to presume, but if you want to, life adventures and keto. Good morning, y'all. Okay, Bird Lover writes, just had a physical. My BP and cholesterol have never been better. Go keto. I have a t-shirt that reads, go keto. Go keto, get healthy. Get keto, or something like that. It's a t-shirt. Oh, this t-shirt. I can and I will. IC and IW, go keto with Casey. And this is a really soft t-shirt. And this is for those this is a woman's size small, and it's a very soft t-shirt. Mikos Danes writes, that magnet gives me a reason to pause every time I feel snacky. It's a great reminder. Even my husband mentions it when he's feeling snacky. I'm feeling snacky. Elita's keto journey, 86 pounds down now. Golly, my dog knocked over my coffee on my Casey's journal. I've got to order a new one. Oh no. And by the way, I did not date these record books, because I don't want anyone to think, well, I have to stop and, I'll get that. I'll start January 1st, or I'll start them first of next month. You can start today. I wish I'd kept better records. I have a spreadsheet, my weight and all that stuff I have. I wish I'd kept a better record of, like, oh my gosh, today my fingers, I realized my finger joints don't hurt. Oh my gosh, today I could cross my legs. Oh my goodness. Today I turned sideways in that narrow hallway and I didn't hit anything with my stomach. Magic Mia, do you find that if you are not losing weight, but try to convince your family it's a better way to be eating, etc., hubby is like, why can't you eat fruit? It's so healthy. Fruit, why he believes that is because we've been told that. Who told us that? Fruit growers. You go back not even that long ago in human history, fruit was a rarity unless you lived around the equator. Most fruits, like what we think of as, fruit, no, they were tropical. And they were very expensive and rare. Fruit is sugar. Think about how hard it is to get to the fruit of some fruits. Think about how hard it is to get to the pineapple. Nature wants you to work for it because it's not supposed to be eaten 5 times a day. But if people believe what they're going to believe. For your husband, I cannot disagree. He feels it's healthy, but it's sugar. Okay, your monitor needs adjustment. Picture is blurry. Thanks for all you do. Anyone else blurry? It's the same camera, and my monitor has nothing to do with it. My camera. Okay, anyone else blurry? Mary T writes, I'm 63, lost 70 pounds 4 years ago. I'm healthier and more active than I was at 20. My friends and family are finally asking questions, and a few even joined. We are changing the world. It's happening. Okay, not blurry. You might want to refresh your screen. Whoever saw blurry. Okay, here's Gray. I love this. Lost 255.2 pounds in 12 months following the page 4 protocol. No keto products of any kind, just real food. It's that simple. If it says keto on the label, it's not. In Costco, you can find any number of products, from keto ice cream bars on a stick, and it says keto in large letters, keto clusters covered in chocolate, keto trail mix, keto bar. No, it's not. If it's shelf stable, it's got stuff in it that is not on page 4. Yes, thank you. I have not purchased one keto product. There is not one thing you need to buy. You don't need to buy testing products. You don't need to buy special kits or meal plans or foods. You don't even need to buy a mug or a t-shirt to be 100% successful at this protocol. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer, total, not net. It's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it. You don't even need a food list. It's fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, and full-fat dairy in limited portions if you can tolerate it and if you like it. If it says keto, it's not. Absolutely. Victoria Rusauda, Gray's Custom Trim, fantastic. Mikos Dane, so amazing, Grace. You must feel like a new person at this point. Inspiring. Judy Porterfield, awesome job, Grace. Custom trim. Wow. Mary T writes, keto is free other than the cost of the food. And our food budget, our food expenses, groceries, continues to go down. And we've been doing it. He started in August. I started in January. So we've both been doing it 7 years, me 7.5. Our food bill has gone down and down and down. We need less food because the food we consume is more nutrient dense. You know, there's a reason that they call it junk food. It's because it's junk. There's a reason that it's cheap. It's because it has no value. There's a reason food manufacturers sell it. There's a huge profit in it. But we eat, some days I bore my husband with it. I say, oh my God, do you realize I got a package of chicken thighs from Costco? I mean, you get they're 6 in a package. I usually use those for the pet food that I make. We had chicken thighs, 4 thighs per package, bone in, skin on. And let's face it, the skin is the best part. I pulled my skin off of my chicken thigh the other day, and I told my husband, I said, look, I'm saving the chicken skin for dessert. Cooked it in the air fryer. Cooked all 4 thighs. And then I fried up some okra. You can't see it back there, but we've got okra from our garden. I just throw the okra, cut the tips off, cut them in some long chunks, throw them in bacon fat. It's like fries. They're delicious. Throw some salt in. I priced it out. We each had 1 chicken thigh, which was kind of amazing in itself, that we each were satisfied. Those chicken thighs cost us 50 cents each. I had the dinner cooked for the next night as well. 50 cents each. And delicious. What did Charlotte today makes week 20 on Dr. Westman's protocol down 34 pounds. Congratulations. Perfect. Mikos Danes writes, same here. Weekly food bill is so much lower, and I spend the money I'm not using on food on other things like fall decor for the house. Victoria Rosada writes, it really is so simple. Eat nutrient-dense, real foods when hungry. Not always easy. Our minds and our old habits can wreak havoc on us, but it's absolutely doable. Thanks, Casey, for your weekly inspiration. Well, thank you. You can buy a lot of eggs for what a pint of ice cream costs. No kidding. And ice cream, no matter whether it says keto on the label or not, is not. If dairy on page 4 is limited to 2 tablespoons a day, cream, if cream is, and ice cream is made out of cream, how much ice cream are you going to get out of 2 tablespoons? Nothing. Might as well. And so you can see we're actually kind of low on eggs. Those are our eggs back there from our girls. Less expensive. Cheap sounds cheap, right? Less expensive. More value. It's more valuable. Charla Renee's lifestyle. People are telling me I'm getting too skinny. Frustrating. But they never told me when I was too chunky. People started telling me I had lost enough weight about 25 pounds ago. Can you imagine? I've got fat to lose. If you saw me in person, you might go, ooh, is that Casey's before picture? But I'm happy with where I am. Again, I think our eyes have become accustomed to seeing people, all of us around us, larger. We just are bigger people. I mean, I don't mean taller. Also, if some people around us have always kind of liked having us around because we made them feel thin by comparison, they may not be feeling that so much anymore. Easier for us to stop losing weight than for them to start. Gray writes, absolutely feeling better. I've been overweight my entire life. I can do things now I never thought possible. Thought I was just a big person my whole life. That's what I thought. This is my role in the universe. It's my role. I'm going to be the funny fat friend that makes other people feel better about them the way they look. I'd given up. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I'd given up on losing weight. Mary T, I had people ask if I'm okay. Haha, didn't want to comment how much weight I lost in case I was sick. Isn't that something? When morbidly obese, people don't say boo. You lose some weight and you get to a kind of a normal fighting weight and they think you have cancer. Yes, you are so concerned how much weight we lost. Bye, fluffy me. All right, friends, I'm going to wrap this up. I really appreciate you allowing me to be part of your Saturday. Remember, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total, not net. If it's not on page 4, link below. Don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Don't eat if you're not hungry and stop when you're satiated. And those 2 bits are why we have a support group. Those last 2 parts, breaking habits of a lifetime, it's a challenge. Okay, guys, be sweet. Just don't eat sweets. Toodaloo, Caribou.